That's the thing. You got to keep believing. You got to keep fighting for people. Sometimes you don't want to, and sometimes it gets rough, and I know. Believe me, I know. But you got to keep going. You can't give up on each other. So you can't give up on your dreams. You can't give up on each other. People need support. I'm almost ready to finish with this section and this part, and we'll move it on. But people need support. People need to know that somebody's there. Sometimes all they have is one person. And maybe you're the person that they have. You're going to get annoyed, you're going to get irritated because, you're going to get the phone calls, you're going to get the text messages, you're going to get the visits, you're going to get, hey, let's go to lunch. And then when you sit down to eat, you want to go eat your food because you're going to be depressed because you're listening to their problems and whatever they've got is carried over onto you and you just can't, you're like, can I get a to-go box over here because I'm leaving? That's the thing. So you just got to understand, don't give up on people. Don't ever do it. Because you know what? I've had plenty of opportunities, and I've had plenty of good reasons to walk away. But, I didn't, and I don't, and I won't. Because if I ever do, then there's a really good reason. But you can't. You can't. So, holding on to hope for 25 years in the air was when it happened. You might have to wait a lifetime. You might have to wait a long time before something happens. But I'm going to tell you, if you keep holding on and you keep sticking with it, encourage those people. Don't discourage them. Don't look at them and say, well, you didn't do it this time again, did you? Well, this is just, it's going, it's just a cycle. We're just going through it, So, you got to be careful with that. Now I'm going to talk to you about the most important thing. I've talked about not giving up on your dreams. I've talked to you about not giving up on each other. Now, you cannot, I should still sit down, but I'm not going to. You cannot give up on yourself. Life gets rough. Life gets tough. It really does. Sometimes when I've said that I didn't want to get out of bed some mornings because I was sore from either working out or I was just tired from the day wearing me out, whatever it might have been. The one person that you have to depend on through everything is you. Because you're going to feel like nobody understands sometimes. And believe me, a lot of times nobody will that's around you at the time. But you got to dig down deep and you got to find that inner strength. And you got to say, you know what? I've faced this before. I can do it again. Something is not going well today. Well, let's take it minute by minute. Don't let a bad moment make it a bad day. Things happen. It's life. You can allow situations to control you, or you can take charge. And you can make up your mind that it's not going to ruin your day. But you have to keep going. You have to keep moving forward. It's hard because, believe me, you take this step kind of hurts a little bit. Well, I'm afraid to take another step in life because this one hurt so much. But you know what? Come on, let's move it. Well, that was a little less painful. Then you go one more time. There it is. And it gets easier. And eventually you can just move through life. You can just eventually walk. You don't have to worry about what's going on. You don't have to worry about what you've been through. You don't have to worry about the pain. You don't have to worry about, and here's the thing. Life is so full. You know how when you're young and you're a baby and you start to grow and you're like, ow, my arm hurts. I don't know about the rest of you, but my mom and dad, they look at me sometimes, especially my mom. All those are just growing pains. You'll be all right. Life is full of growing pains. It's full of them, believe me. But it's all in how you approach the situation, how you handle it, how you look at it. You can let the situation control you, like I said, or you can control it. Don't quit and give up. If life gets tough, you got to get tougher. And I will tell you, situations will toughen you up. Things will happen, and you're going to not know what to do. But what do you do when you don't know what to do? Don't do anything. Just kind of hold on, and let's see how some things play out. So keep going, keep moving forward. You've got to see the good. When I say don't give up on yourself, you might feel defeated, you might feel discouraged, you might be depressed. But you got to see the good in yourself. You got to see the good in your life. You've got to see that, you know what, this is okay, I can do this, I can move on, I can go forward. I'm thankful for this. There's the thing, be thankful. Don't be thoughtful, be thankful. Because your thoughtfulness might turn into thinking wrong. When I say don't be thoughtful, I want to say don't think, don't overthink. I'm an overthinker. You know, I am. I will tell you now, if I'm by myself, I can sit and I can think and then just overthink. So you've got to think and speak well. You've got to think and speak good. Now, I'm going to tell you when I say don't give up on yourself, I'm going to tell you guys something very personal. And I'm just about done. I got one more story to tell you after this and we're done. But extremely personal story. I think I've only told 2 people this. Coming through a rough time this year. I was just depressed. I was discouraged. I just didn't want to keep going. It started, I can tell you, it started on April 30th. And it didn't end until the beginning of August. I'm saying this to encourage you. Don't think I don't want anyone to think that I'm being negative or telling a negative story. But I'm going to encourage you to keep going and keep moving on. And to keep pressing on and keep moving forward. Because you see, from April 30th to the beginning of August, I didn't care if I woke up the next day. I didn't care. I'd be like, I'm okay. You know what? I'm sick of life. I'm tired of how things are going. But you know what? It wasn't life. It wasn't how things were going. It was the way I was thinking. It was the way I was feeling. You know what? I allowed my situations to control me. When the weight is heavy and the pressure's on, you will get stronger. You've got to grow. You've got to keep going. You can't give up. I could have very easily given up. You know, I texted my cousin. He's pretty much my best friend. You know, and he and I talk a lot. And I texted him and I said, I just don't know anymore. I said, I'm tired. And I said, I don't know how much more I can take. That quick. You know what? He called me. Did he text me? He texted or called. I don't know. Anyway, his first question to me was, are you okay? Do I sound like I'm okay? You know, that's what I asked him. You know, you got to have a little bit of humor, even though I was just like, okay. But I'm like, do I sound like I'm okay? He's like, well, no. Are you thinking about hurting yourself or anyone else? Well, not at the moment, but you know. So he talked to me and talked me through it. You know, that's what I'm saying. You can't give up on each other. You can't give up on yourself. You've got to keep going. You've got to see the good. You've got to see the positive. You've got to see the bright side. Because if you let life, it will pull you down. It'll make you want to quit. But you can't. You can't. And if I know you, I won't let you quit. So if you're going through something and you try to call or get a hold of me somehow, and you're like, no, I'm going to tell you to toughen up. I'm going to say, let's figure this out. Let's get going. Let's move on. So, you know, and I'm going to finish with this story. It's all how you look at things. You know, when I say don't give up, you can be playing a sport. And the story I'm going to tell you is about baseball. Now, anyone that knows me knows I don't like sports. I don't watch sports. I don't follow it. You can tell. I know the difference between a football and a baseball and a soccer ball and a basketball. I can tell you the difference between the stuff. But if you try to talk to me about any of it, you can talk, but I'm oblivious to it all. So this little boy is out playing baseball, and he's out there and he's playing baseball, and he throws the ball up in the air, and the ball comes down, and he swings his bat and he misses. He picks the ball up again, throws it up in the air, swings the bat, misses again, strike two. He really wanted to be able to, is it an infielder? Is that what those guys are called that hit the ball? I don't know. Whatever they're called, the ones with the bats that hit the ball, that's what he wanted to do. When I told you I don't know. So I can play the sports, I played them, but never in school, never, just with friends. But I'm telling you something. But so there goes that little boy, and he's bending down, and he picks up that ball again, and he throws it up in the air, and he swings, and he misses a third time. He had a choice to make. He could give up. He could quit. He could be discouraged. But you know what he said? He said, man, I'm a good pitcher. He struck himself out, so he's a better pitcher than he is a hitter. So, anyway, I just want anyone that has heard me tonight or sees the video or whatever the case, just keep going. Life is full of ups and downs, but you know what? It's full of more good than bad. You're here, you have a purpose. And I'm going to tell you, it's up to you to figure out what your passion is. Because when you figure out what your passion is, you got your purpose. And then there you have it. Don't ever quit and give up. You got to keep believing. You got to keep seeing the good. So, with that, I will say, go get a bat and ball, get out in the field and see if you're a hitter or a pitcher. Either way, whatever the little guys are called to stand in there and swing the bat, that's kind of what I want. I never want to pitch. I want to just hit the ball. So, in your life, hit the ball out of the park, out of the field, go hit a home run, and make something happen for yourself. Thanks to everyone for being here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.